Oh, I've got my coffee. It's up and Adam's time. I didn't sleep super well because I was up thinking about how no one loves me enough to send me frozen bricks of their own blood like Mattson does in Succession. But that's okay because I'm here and it's Monday and everybody's in a great mood and the vibes are high. It's draft week. It's happening this week. We don't know what's happening at number 2 or after number 2, but that's okay. Darius Butler stops by to figure that out. And GaTa from Dave on FFX. Oh my gosh, let me just play this song really quick. Okay, we'll talk about it now. That's a banger. Too many women. GaTa is here. We'll talk to him. I think he's a Clippers fan. What's going on? I hear they're down 3-1. What do they got to do? He's a Westbrook guy. We've got NBA playoffs going on, of course. But NFL Draft Week is finally here. Our show will be in Kansas City, in the middle of it, the center of the universe. And then it's like, why do you want to go? Why do you want to go to the draft? You can watch it on TV. Because this is one of the more intriguing drafts that I can remember. We're going to cover it all for you. We have top prospects on the show lined up that are going to meet with me in person at the draft. I cannot wait. And this draft is everything that you could possibly want. Tons of quarterback talent. It's deep. There's depth at really every position. You've got teams looking to trade up. And most importantly, the drama. There's a complete mystery surrounding what's going to happen after that number 1 pick. So if you're listening to reports, we'll get you caught up here on a Monday. The Panthers, they're likely, I mean, they're gonna grab the Bama guy, Bryce Young, first overall. And while the prevailing thought throughout this entire process was, okay, ipso facto, then the Texans also take a quarterback at number 2. Last week, we heard that what might not be the case. There was some agent team sort of stuff going on. Weird. But this weekend, all reports were saying that we're trending towards taking a quarterback again. Listen, the only thing that we know here on a draft week Monday is that no one knows what the Texans are doing at number 2. I don't believe anybody until all is said and done. So to highlight just how open things are for H-Town, take a look at the odds for the number 2 overall pick on FanDuel Sportsbook. My team showed me this, and I said, we gotta do this. Will Levis, right? He's the new favorite. Okay, makes sense. Will Anderson Jr., who had the best odds just 4 days ago, he slips down to 3rd behind fellow edge guy Tyree Wilson. And CJ Stroud, by the way, who was thought to be a top lock for the number 2 pick a few weeks ago, he's dropped into a tie for 3rd. We are spiraling into pure chaos, people. And remember, this is also taking into account who might be selected at that number 2 spot if the Texans trade down, which if I'm them and I'm not in love with a Stroud or another quarterback, that would make a lot of sense to maybe trade down in the draft if they don't go QB. So the Texans are in the driver's seat for this draft. The Cardinals pick thereafter at 3, and they might be open for business as well. I can't remember a draft with this much nonsense uncertainty at this point when we're so close. So it'll be really fun to watch unfold. And good luck to the Eisens, to everybody on those sets having a deal, and the people switching graphics and hot changes, being ready for this going on. So Charlie, shout out to you over there at NFL Network covering this so well for so many years. So, okay, and then there's the trades. Like, we have to bake that in. It's not just, the surf and turf. You've got the sides coming out here, and that might be a few superstars on the move. And a lot of talk about Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know, because it's like, let's get it going. It has to happen, right? Rap Sheet says that the Jets and Packers have finally re-engaged in trade negotiations, and that a hope is for something to be worked out this week. So they weren't talking. They weren't going back and forth this whole time. They just took a break. I don't understand. When this all started, who said it was going to take time? Me. And I don't ever tweet about this kind of stuff or whatever. I was hearing from both sides the same thing. I was hearing, we have the leverage on this side, same thing. We have the power. So I knew it was going to be a bit of a standstill. What's going to give? Timing is what's going to give. And now's the time to see what these front offices are made of, because the Packers and Brian Gutekunst, I'm going to say want/need to get something done ahead of the draft, something that includes some 2023 picks so they can add and bolster some love and support around Jordan Love. Then the Jets and Joe Douglas, you can make the case that they aren't in as much of a rush, right? That, they probably are sitting there and saying, we've got time for this. Do you? What's your backup plan if this falls through? You have Aaron Rodgers as your backup plan if this falls through for the Packers. If you're the Jets, I don't know. Also, if you're the Jets, is there no paranoia that sets in? Like, if you're a guy wanting to propose to his girl and he's, I got time. Like, you don't think another suitor she's not going to meet somebody in the grocery store in aisle 7? and meet somebody that could potentially want to lock her up. Like, a suitor can emerge, my friend, so it'll be interesting to see who has the patience, who ultimately has the leverage. Timing, of course, has a lot to do with that. So it's Hoopling's first, I guess, but I would have to think that we see a deal go down before Goodell takes the stage in Kansas City on Thursday night. The trade rumor that has everyone fired up from the weekend came from Akbar, who tweeted this. I mean, he's doing his thing on CBS. He's, amazing talent. I'd love to have him on the show. He said, move out of the way. Derrick Henry is headed to the Eagles. Now, this is far from confirmed. I didn't reach out to him, and there's some sources telling Pro Football Talk that this isn't going to happen, and we don't know what the truth is here, but it did get me thinking. So I'm not, like, everybody's just gonna say, here's what happens sometimes. I chew on what's out there, and everyone's like, why are you adding fuel to this flame? Why are you giving us a platform, especially when it comes to Pro Football Talk? But as we all know on this show, this entire draft season, Bijan Robinson, I talked to LaShawn McCoy about it, that 10th pick for the Eagles, that to me is where he belongs, that talent, that sort of a lift for the Eagles. And they have holes to fill in that backfield. As we know, he's special. But making a move for Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook, who's reportedly on his way out of Minnesota one way or another, that would put them at even more of an advantage, right? They have the cap space to take on either one, whether they're talking Henry or Cook, and they're still going to have both first-round picks to add talent at premium positions. So Howie Roseman, he knows what time it is. He knows the window is short, and Jalen got this big deal. But you guys out there have to understand, he got this deal. It doesn't kick in, right? Right now, for this year, this team can afford to go all in on other veterans like Buda Baker, like, Dalvin Cook at him, right? So with some of the things that are swirling around out there, I kind of think we're going to see Philly drop another bombshell on us during draft week. We wouldn't be surprised, right? A.J. Brown last year, that happened, so I'm not ruling anything out. Now, we have a very fun guest in studio. Darius Butler will join us. We'll talk a little NBA playoffs with him. We'll talk about the draft, what he thinks the Colts are doing. But from the hugely popular show, Dave on FXX, actor and rapper GaTa joins us to talk about Too Many Women!
You've done this for me a million times. I'm gonna do it to you right now. You're the fucking man. You hear me? You are the fucking one. I know you're going through some shit right now. I can't even fathom how that feels, but he's right there. Your dream is right there. You've waited, what, 10 fucking years for this moment? Are you really gonna let this ruin your life?
Nah, bro.
Right? What did you say earlier? You said fall 7 times, get up 8?
Get up 8.
Get up 8, right? This will be the 8th time or whatever. This is the moment where you gotta go do this shit. Am I right?
Let's do it.
We have a whole chain to give them. We have a conversation. We have an in. Go give them this. Snap out of it.
Let's go.
Let's go do it.
Get up 8. That's all that you need. Every hype man needs a hype man, right? We've got one of the best in-studio actor, rapper, modern-day Renaissance man when it comes to the hip-hop game from the show, Dave, on FXX, which is about to premiere. And I just heard it was the best season ever, Mr. GaTa?
Best season ever.
Why?
Because we just bigger and better, We just showing people how we progressing as artists, as friends, and we still on the journey together, but we got more stories to tell.
Now, that's Dickie giving you a hype speech, but that's your role on the show, and it was in real life. What does it take? What qualities does a legit hype man have?
You gotta have that honesty. Your honesty gotta be brutal, To a lot of your friends, they don't wanna hear the truth, and you just gotta tell them the truth, that will make people better. When you tell people the truth, you bring the best out of them. You can't be out here sugarcoating stuff. You gotta just be real with people.
How do you get to being a hype man professionally?
You just gotta be devoted to your friends, your circle, and you just gotta always be infectious when it comes to giving out positive energy. When people feeling down, you gotta be the one to bring the energy back up. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you become a hype man. Just being that person that's always down for the cause, down for having a good time.
Is that exhausting?
Yeah, it's exhausting, but at the same time, when you know people depend on you for positivity and wisdom and encouragement, it's always something that you gonna be awake for.
Where do you get that from? Because I would find that to be hard, to be consistently, somebody's depending on me to be this positive energy. Like, where does that, what motivates that?
My environment where I grew up, in South Central LA, what I'm saying? Just a lot of negative things going on, so I just wanted to be on the up and up, just be positive and just be focused and having a great time all the time because it ain't always sweet and,
Let's talk about the season.
Yeah.
What can we expect?
You can expect
cameos?
Yeah, a lot of cameos. We got MGK on there, Usher, Rick Ross. It's gonna be dope, man. We got a lot of people on there coming out this season, and I can't wait for people to see it.
I read that after the first season wrapped, you said that Young Thug was your favorite cameo because he came on, he knew who you were, and it meant something to you. Now, this many seasons in, who's your favorite cameo?
Rick Ross, for sure, because that's one of my favorite rappers, you know, as well.
Patriots fan.
Yeah, growing up, you know, always listening to his music and then being able to be with him full circle, talking about old school cars and all that. It's dope, man.
You have a new single.
New single.
It is called Too Many Women.
Too Many Women.
Tell me about that problem.
It's just a problem that I used to have. I was speaking from past experiences, you know, just being on the road, traveling, growing up, finding myself, and just always being in certain just crazy situations. I just put it into a song because it was the truth at the time.
What's the craziest situation? Give me an example.
You know, just...
Living the life.
Living the life, you know.
Okay, so it's different now, but so you're reminiscing, sort of. It's a great song, though. Everyone should go take a listen to it.
Yeah, it's
you have
out
a lot
everywhere.
going on right now.
Yeah, out everywhere. I just came from Australia shooting a rom-com movie. It was dope with Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell, Will Gluck.
Tell me about that. I'm seeing those photos all over the place. Tell me about that movie.
The movie is untitled right now, but it's a rom-com directed by Will Gluck, produced by him, and it's coming out with Sony. And Sydney Sweeney's in it, Glenn Powell. Amazing cast. It was just a fun time. I was just like having a great time out there. And I just learned that, you know, you just gotta open your mind and try different things. So it was dope to be doing that.
Now I'm seeing some rumors about Sydney Sweeney and Glenn. Anything to them?
Hey, man, I can't wait for people to see the movie, man. We had a great time out there.
Oh, boy, too many women, I got too many women. Okay, well, that's me. Wait, had you been to Australia before? I've never been.
Yeah, I've been out there thanks to my good friend, David Bird, a.k.a. Lil Dicky. I was on tour with him, being this hype man. We went to Sydney, we went to Melbourne, we went to Auckland.
What's it
and
like?
Brisbane. It's just, you know, it's lovely, man. Like me, when I travel, that's my best teacher, you know what I'm saying? Because I didn't go to college, you know what I mean? So when I'm traveling, I'm tapping into people's cultures, I'm learning different languages, hand-on, you know, it's just a great thing. I like traveling.
I looked at the people you follow on Instagram, and it's very few people, and you follow literally my biggest crush of my entire life, Dermot Mulroney.
Oh, yeah, that's my big homie right
And I was like,
there.
why does he follow Dermot Mulroney? What is that?
Man, we just,
the movie.
We friends, man. He in the movie too, and I like learning from people. He got a lot of wisdom, and his longevity in this industry is very something that I aspire to be. So I was just soaking up game, having a great time, having fun, and, you know, just helping me with my chops, just getting better. You know, I like learning from OGs, man.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
He's a sports writer in the Chicago Sun-Times, and my best friend's wedding with Julia Roberts from back in the 90s, and I fell in love with him, GaTa. I just loved him. Okay, so you're talking about going on tour with Lil Dicky. You guys did that in real life in Australia. It was amazing, but this season of Dave is all about, you're also going city to city on tour.
Right.
And showing people what that's like. What is that really like?
To me, honestly, it's like living the dream, you know. Every artist, their dream is to travel. And when you're traveling, putting your product out there, it's no better feeling than that. When you're seeing feedback from the fans in person, they screaming your name, sign this, sign that, take a pic. Like, it's the best feeling in the world, you know? And I just appreciate being able to spread positivity. And that's what you do with a concert. You make people feel good. So to be able to do that city to city, night after night, and to get paid for it, it's a dream.
Yeah, what city did you go to that you maybe weren't expecting much of it or didn't think about it, and then you were really impressed by it? Like, what was your favorite stop that you were like, oh, I really want to go back there?
Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Really? Tell me.
It was just great, you know, just to be able to see the Southern hospitality at hand, people just being great, having great smiles and stuff, and I just like traveling, man.
Do you have any,
like
do you have any
everywhere.
tips for a tour? Because I'm dabbling with the idea of doing like a NFL training camp tour where I'm gonna get an RV and I'm gonna go city to city and check out the camps and talk to some of the guys. Any tips for the road?
Yeah, you definitely gotta test out the nature. If you're in Colorado, make sure you go to the Great Ganges, go to the mountains to see how it is, you know, see how the air is up there.
Really?
Yeah, like when you travel, you gotta hit the nooks and crannies. You gotta go everywhere. Like me, I like going to places that I never thought I would go to. Like, I even just went to Joshua Tree for the first time. Like, I'm big on going outside and taking hikes and stuff now. Like, I went to Hawaii with my girl. We went to go see a waterfall in the forest. Like, I'm past to just going to places and shopping and eating. I like getting outside, man. It's a beautiful thing. Like,
How are you
Australia,
finding these places?
just by having great references and great friends and surrounding myself with the best world-grown people, and they just hook me up with all the good info.
So you have a good waterfall hike in Hawaii you can tell me about.
Yeah, for sure.
I love that. That's amazing. Okay, so Dave is your first acting gig, and you got national attention after your character revealed that the character had bipolar, but it's based on a real life diagnosis, of course. How did it feel revealing that as part of your real life?
To be honest, when I had to reveal it, I was kind of hesitant at first because I got like a demeanor. You know, I want to be the cool guy. You know, have everything good, everything smooth, having a great time, be the life of the party, but I was hesitant, but I was inspired by my friend Dickie. He said that I'm gonna be inspiring people, motivating people, and my story is beautiful. And once he put it like that, I said, man, all right, let's rock. But I love the fact that he came to me respectively as a friend and asked me, and I shared my story and I inspired people.
Now, I work, I cover the NFL, and I would say like 10 years ago, no one talked about mental health at all. It just wasn't talked about, it wasn't a thing. And now you're seeing lots of athletes, actors, but athletes, like these guys and these tough guys in these locker room wanting to be seen a certain way, being really vulnerable and talking about, we have some of the, honestly, the most badass NFL players saying, I see a sports psychologist, I see a therapist. Have you seen it evolve in the actor rap game over the past? Tell me about that. How?
I've seen a lot of people coming out, and it's a beautiful thing, man, to be honest with you, because there's no like, oh, I was the first person or this person was the first person. Because if you just go back into history, you could just really see who was bipolar before like today's time. You know, some of your favorite people, Albert Einstein, a lot of people, I looked into it and researched it, and it's a lot of people that are bipolar. Like, it goes back historically. But I just love seeing people be more open about it because it's better for the world. You know, once you open up and share, that means more people can get knowledge, more people can get information from you just by sharing your story. So I love seeing people talk about it. It makes me feel good too, and to be an advocate is a great thing.
Is there a story, or like, how do you know that you're inspiring people? Is it just outreach, DMs? Like, how do you know people are hearing that message?
Well, for example, when season 1 first came out, and that's when I revealed I was bipolar, I was in my old neighborhood on Crenshaw. I was shopping at the PetSmart. A black lady came up to me while I'm shopping for some dog food for Morty. She was like, man, you know what? She said, your story really helped me, it saved me. I was gonna commit suicide, but I bought a cat, and I just really appreciate you for sharing that. So that's when I really knew that I was inspiring people. When somebody stopped me in my neighborhood that I grew up in, and it's not no Hollywood stuff, it's like, this is a real moment, between me and somebody I don't know, and she telling me her story. I was like, man, that's beautiful.
It's real, and I know it's not easy, but I see it with the NFL. It's not like where it needs to be. Like, it needs to be. There's work that needs to be done, and I'm sure it's similar.
Because people in the NFL, you still got to be macho, man.
It's hard. Yeah.
It's hard to bring that wall down because you're already so focused on the game. You got to remember all these plays. You got to be great. And it's
But we have
hard.
guys like we've got even people who will do what I do, like a Jay Glazer who works for Fox and he's an he talks about mental health. We have Brandon Marshall's on my show every week. He's a huge advocate for mental health.
Man. Huge fan.
Yeah, in Florida, like and he comes on our show and and he was one of the first in the NFL. Like, that's a pioneer. So I think it's amazing that you're doing that, and we'll see more of that story, I'm sure, revealed on Dave on FXX, which we're so excited about. You mentioned Morty. Now you love Morty. Morty's got his own Instagram page, as I understand.
Oh, yeah, GED Morty, everybody follow my
Can I see a picture of Morty? I don't know if I've seen him. No, we don't have it? We're looking for it. So tell me about Morty, then.
I bought Morty, unfortunately, I don't like to say bought, but I got Morty after season 1, and he was just basically like an emotional support dog for me. Like, during the pandemic, I was, locked up like everybody else in their house. And he was just fun, man. I got to watch him go from being a small pup to now he got size on him. He running around. It's a good thing for me.
I love it. It's a good thing for you. Now, does he make a cameo at all in the show?
Oh, man, I can't tell you. You got to wait and see.
Okay, here he is.
Gotta wait and see.
Well, he needs to.
That's Morty.
Yeah, I don't know who's calling. Listen, Benny Blanco, this kid's a star.
Man.
Get Morty. Get Morty on the
man.
show. We love to see it. If you could pick an NFL or NBA cameo on the next season of Dave, who would it be? I know you're an LA guy, so you like the Rams. You like the Clippers?
I would have to go with prime time.
Really?
Yeah, I love prime time, man.
And what role would he play? Again, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot going on.
That's what I'm saying. I think that scene would be dope.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Man,
that's a really good answer.
Must be the money.
I thought you might say, that's amazing. I thought you might say LeBron. No LeBron.
Man, I love LeBron, man. LeBron is a great guy, man.
Can he
supports
act?
us too. Yeah, he can act. Y'all gotta go watch House Party.
Ah, I've never seen House Party.
You gotta go see that. I'm in that too.
What?
Yeah.
I've seen Space Jam. What else was he in? Trainwreck. He was in some other rom-com.
Man,
he
LeBron
wasn't with
doing his
Sydney
thing.
Sweeney though. But can he act? Be honest. You're an actor.
Yeah, he can act. He's a superstar. He's a performer. He's an entertainer. Of course he could do it.
Can I ask
I
you
know you
something?
see them Sprite commercials.
I have seen those Sprite commercials. Wait, is acting hard? Be honest. Like rap is really hard. Really, I can't. But is acting hard?
It's not hard when you love it, but it's definitely challenging. You know, when you take on different roles and you gotta tap into a different character's story, it can get challenging. But it's not hard when you love it. When you love what you're doing, you love performing, it's just work and dedication. I don't like to call it hard. Nothing is hard if you put your mind to it.
Yeah. What makes Dave work? It's a call. I mean, I can't tell
What
you
makes
how many
Dave
people.
work is the friendship, the realness, the rawness. That's what make it work.
That's what make it work. We love it. We're gonna play a little game here. Let me get to it now because we talked about all this sort of things. Now, you walked in and I said, "How are you? What's in store for the season?" And you said, "Lots of gander."
Oh,
Talk
yeah,
to
a lot
me.
of gander.
Define gander.
Oh, the gander is just basically. I like how they got the music dropped in there. That's fly. That's
we
fly.
got it. We got you.
The gander is basically just taking your energy and using it in a positive way to manifest something at that moment. Like when you go to the club, you know, you might not have the money to get the bottle service and all that, but you probably got a couple guy friends with you that got some friends too, and you might bounce in there and tip the bouncer $40. Now you just gandered your way in the club because you use that energy at the moment. You're like, how can I get in here? The spot is going crazy. But look, this is what I'm thinking about, and it works.
Got it. You gander. So it's sort of like finesse and then manifesting,
yes.
making it happen.
There we go, making it happen
Okay.
by any means necessary.
I like it, gander. Okay, so now I need some of your thoughts on these topics. I'm going to tell you some things, and you're going to tell me where they are on the GaTa gander meter. Fall Out Boy. Now I understand you. What was it that you toured? What did you do with Fall Out Boy?
Dude, they high up on the meter.
Stop!
They
Tell
high
me.
up. Yo, like just traveling the world with them, being with gym class heroes, Fall Out Boy, and just being in that world was everything to me. That's how I was able to see the whole United States, you know, at an early age, is by touring with them and learning the tour lifestyle and appreciating having merch and knowing how to treat your fans. Because you gotta think about it. Fall Out Boy got a new album out right now, probably, and they probably about to tour right now. I think they do got a new album out right now.
I don't know if they have a new album, Walking Here from the Control Room, but they are performing at the NFL Draft. That's why I wanted to ask about them.
there
So
we
they'll
go,
be in Kansas
man.
City
Yeah,
on stage.
They're really about that life, being on the road and rocking out.
So they have high gander.
Yeah, love Fall Out Boy, high gander.
High gander, I love that. How about cats?
Oh, cats are a big thing to me. I had cats before.
And they have a high gander?
High gander.
What makes them ganderful?
Because they graceful. The way they know how to finesse you out of some cat food or be right next to you without you even knowing. They some good sneaky little creatures. I like cats.
How about the Twitter blue check mark thing going on? What's your thoughts on that?
Man, the Twitter blue checkmark thing is crazy. They give it to you, they take it away. It's like they make you want to pay for it. Hey, Elon, I'm not even mad at you, man. Get your money, dude. I'm not even mad, bro.
You know, Elon really needs money.
Yeah, it's something going on. Because you got to think about it. He bought the company for like $44 billion. He's like, damn, I got to make this back now. Let me start charging people.
Yeah,
Hey,
$8 at a time?
I'm not mad at him, dude.
Now, did you pay?
I'm not mad at
Are
him.
you going to pay the $8?
I don't even got a blue check right now. I think they took,
Neither do
they
I.
took mine away.
They took mine away too.
Yeah.
I think you get it back if you have $1 million or if you pay for it. But he
Oh, for real?
he gave LeBron one. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I see it.
And
I'm
LeBron
mad.
didn't want it, which I thought was a funny move by Elon.
That is funny.
But I just feel like whatever shakes that, somebody just text me when it's figured out and tell me what to do. So I don't offend anyone, so it's good.
Man, if you just popping in real life, I feel like it don't even matter,
That's
man.
what I'm saying.
The internet
People
is
are-
the internet, you know? But
Yeah,
it's just
too many
like,
people's identities are wrapped up in these blue check marks. That's what I think. How about Macklemore?
Macklemore, I hope he's still thrifting, because I love thrifting.
You love thrifting?
Yeah,
There
I
he
love
is.
thrifting.
Okay, so he has
He look cool, too.
He is an okay gander.
Yeah, he definitely got some gander, man. I appreciate Macklemore, too, for popping in.
Yeah.
Working on the show with us, too. Great person.
Oh, how about Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, Hall of Famer, dude.
But like gander?
He got some gander for
What
sure.
what is his
Because
gander? Now I'm confused about what gander
No,
means.
his gander is, he gander is stayed in the NFL this long.
Yeah.
Think about it.
You love longevity. I love that
that's-
means something
dude,
to you.
Brett Favre, longevity,
Yeah.
Steve Young.
Just guys who do it a
Joe
long time.
Montana. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in it to win
Dermot
it.
Mulroney.
There we go. The longer you do it, is the longer you're able to prove it. But I think Aaron Rodgers is a great guy. I think he just mastered. He's going to be on somebody's team.
He's gonna be on that. Hey, that's the best take I've heard. He's gonna be on somebody's team, y'all. That is all we need to know. That's actually the best take I've heard.
For real.
And last one, I don't know what Crocs. Crocs are on this list. What do you make of Crocs?
Oh man, I think they done took over. They done took over pop culture.
Okay.
They done took over the nursing industry, the health industry. Everybody in the hospital and stuff wearing them.
High utility performance gear.
Now they got it to where you could put all these little cool. You could bedazzle your Crocs now.
Yeah. What are they called? Gibbets. They call them gibbets.
Yeah, you can put all the little stuff on them. Shout out to Benny Blanco too. He got a great Croc collection.
He does?
Yeah, him and my manager Mike Hurts. He be wearing some cool Crocs.
Yeah, I've met him a couple. His outfits are.
Yeah, up to par.
Up to par.
I like that he pushes it too. He's a great dresser, man.
Yeah. What's Benny Blanco's gander?
Just being Benny, you know, and people loving him for being him. I think that's what's so dope. He just got a great soul, great spirit. He attracts a lot of beautiful people towards him, and he's talented too.
Who is the highest gander in the game right now?
Oh, me. I'm doing.
You do? Yes, you do.
I'm
Get
killing it.
You are. Rom-com with Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, I'm killing
They're
it.
all over the newspapers. Her and that bikini, it's insane. All of it is so insane. And then this Glenn Powell guy who I hadn't even heard of. You're friends with Dermot.
Go watch Top Gun.
Top Gun? Yes.
Top Gun.
I haven't seen that one either. That one, like it's a foreign movie. It's like the biggest movie in the past 5 years. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll check it out. You've got lots going on. You've got Dave. You've got the new single. What else we got going on?
I got a cartoon I'm working on.
Tell me that.
I'm gonna be in development with that too over this summer, just working on it. But it's with Onyx and Fox 20th Century. And basically it's just a cartoon about my life and stuff. I don't want to share too much, but it's gonna be dope. It's called Ghetto Brilliance. And shout out to my team, but I got a cartoon I'm working on.
Ghetto Brilliance.
Yeah, Ghetto Brilliance.
Okay, well, we'll see that very soon. Now, I'm going to Kansas City. You got to get out of here. Thank you so much for coming this early in the morning, making your way.
All good, man.
But listen, you're a hype man.
Show love.
I'm headed to Kansas City. I need a hype speech. Give me a little something as we head to Kansas City. Let's go. A little Kay Adams hype speech.
All right, you about to go to Kansas City.
Go.
Hope you have a great time out there. Wish you well on your trip. Safe travels.
Thank you.
But you gotta go to Gates Barbecue.
Gates?
Gates Barbecue.
What if I'm a Joe's girl, though?
Oh, man, listen.
Q39?
Go to Gates Barbecue.
Tell me on Gates.
Dude, them baked beans is just too good. I'm telling you.
They have high gander?
Yeah, you gotta go in there. Dude, when you walk in, they, welcome to Gates, can I help you? Like,
Is that right?
Yeah, they got good spirit. You gotta
Good
go to
spirit.
Gates.
Okay, I'm going to Gates. That's the hype speech. We all need it. All right, thank you. Gates, GaTa saying Gates is the place to go. Please check out new episodes of Dave. They are airing Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on FXX. I'm going to get Dermot Mulroney's phone number out of his phone, and then I'll see you guys with Darius Butler, our favorite corners, back to tell you about the corners in this draft after this.
Indeed.
Ain't nobody safe when I'm in a room. Somebody stop me, I'm on the groove. Move, stop me, I gotta drop and I gotta choose. Move.
It's been too long since I've seen those highlights on this program and heard that intro music, and it's been a long time since he was drafted by the New England Patriots in the second round of the 2009 NFL Draft. He went on to play 9 seasons for the Pats, the Panthers, and the Colts. He's the co-host of the Man to Man podcast and our FanDuel family member. Last time I saw him, I almost shot my eye out with some champagne. Hello!
What's up, Kay? Good morning. It's been too long. Great internet clip we manufactured last time we were together, but good to see you again. I got my Crocs on, too.
Do you really? Okay.
Got my Crocs with my gibbets on
The
for
whole
my
control
kids.
room is losing it right now over that. I'll be honest, I was anti-Croc for a very long time, and then when
too.
you put them on, you're just like, oh, I get it.
I get it now, yep.
I get it.
So,
All right,
yeah,
and
I'm
kids
big Croc guy.
Your Crocs say DB on them, though? Hold on, show me that again.
Yeah, I got gibbets on them. You know, my kids told me, look, you can't have Crocs without gibbets. So I got DB on them, and I had my number on the other one, but I've kind of lost them.
I'm getting new Crocs after the show, I decided. Okay, so when I say 2009 and I say Patriots, where does your head go?
Oh man, that was life-changing, you know, dream coming true. You know, first as a kid, you go and ask a classroom of, you know, 4th and 5th graders, all the boys, what do they want to be when they grew up as a basketball player and football player, at least where I grew up. And being able to realize that dream, being there with your family, your high school coaches, your mom, dad, your brothers for me. It was just a special, special moment of it all coming together and getting drafted to the New England Patriots, obviously a dynasty and pretty close to where I went to school and college as well.
Right.
So had a lot of people who, followed me collegiately that could still follow me. So it was an amazing, amazing experience. That was a long time ago. Jeez.
Yeah. And you being taken in the second round weeks,
Yep.
I'm sure it felt like years leading up to the draft finally happening. And we've poured over these guys' tapes and we're picking them apart and all of that. And now it's just days away. It's here. And the rumors, they're all over the place, right?
Hate 'em. Yeah.
Listen, teams no longer look at the Wonderlic test. It's now the S2 test, according to reports. Bryce Young, he was in the 98th percentile, and CJ Stroud was in the 18th percentile. So some teams, I mean, it's making it sound like CJ Stroud is not a draftable candidate for this season. It's crazy. Is it fair for a quarterback to fall based on a test?
I mean, the decision makers and different ones in different buildings, they take things for more or less. The test, I don't know what the test is, honestly. Never seen it. I took the Wonderlic when I was coming out. Didn't feel like it was, that hard. Not sure what the S2 test is. Not sure if those scores are even real. But based on what I see on film from the football players, and actually I saw CJ Stroud in person play against Georgia, but his processing, his accuracy pre and post snap when it comes to the processing as a quarterback, which is obviously a huge thing when it comes to these quarterbacks and how they project in the next level, his was elite in my opinion. So I'm not sure what the test or where he had trouble there, but what I saw on the football field was tremendous. He's actually my QB1 in this draft. I know Bryce Young is pretty much a lot to go number one at this point, at least by all reports. But if I was picking CJ Stroud be the top quarterback off the board, I love what I've seen on film from this kid.
No hesitation there. Richard's in my ear going, would he trust his franchise with him? I think the answer we got. Just that.
Listen.
Wow.
Put everything out there. He didn't show up to the Manning camp. He S2, he sucked. All Ohio State quarterbacks stink. Put everything you want out there to make him drop to 4, and I hope the Colts can snag him there. That's my hope, at least. Obviously, I want C.J. Stroud to go as high as possible. I think he deserves that, but I would be a very, very, very happy Colt fan if he's available at 4.
We'll get to the 4. With the 2, though, I mean, the Texans, they dictate this draft. And if they don't go, and there's obviously the Deshaun Watson's agent representing Stroud, and that's weird with the Texans. If the Texans don't go quarterback number 2 overall, are you okay with them taking a guy like a Will Anderson, a defensive player, or should they just get out of Dodge?
I mean, you got a new head coach, so it's similar with the Colts, but it's a full rebuild, I believe, at least in Houston. So if you don't go quarterback, let's say you're not in love with any of the guys outside of Bryce Young, and you don't go quarterback, you either trade back or you draft a blue chipper like Will Anderson or Tyree Will. I don't have a problem with that. DeMeco Ryans is a defensive guy. He actually went to Alabama, so he has some Alabama ties. So, look at these odds right here.
What do you think? What do you make of these?
First of all, blown away that Will Levis is the favorite to be the number 2 pick, but that's neither here or there. If I had to put my money on one, I would still go CJ Stroud plus 500 because you can't win in this league without a quarterback. Can they go quarterback? I wouldn't have an issue with it because they're so far away as a team, as an organization to competing. But I think you need your quarterback, and I'll tell you how I feel about CJ Stroud. So with Young going 1 to Carolina, I will put my money on CJ Stroud at plus 500 right now in the FanDuel Sportsbook to go to the Texans.
You want to go have some fun ahead of Thursday. It's draft week here on FanDuel Sportsbook. Okay, so I don't know what this S2 thing is, neither do you, but do you remember any questions on your Wonderlic?
I don't. No, I don't. I never even saw my score. I was told that I did well, but never even saw so much of this stuff is so secretive. I didn't get my 40 time from like certain teams until like I was probably 5 years into the league. It's things that are kept under close wraps for whatever reason.
Yeah, you were not. Yeah, okay, but I guess tell me this: give me the vibe of the questions. Is it like the train leaves the station at 8 o'clock, and is it like that, or is it?
It's kind of like I would compare it to something like a SAT or something like that. Okay. So if you have test taking anxiety, I think that already kind of sets you back. But I do think it's a lot of them are common sense questions, but this processing I have no idea what goes into these type of tests.
I love that you can't
honestly,
remember
Kay.
a single question. I'm done.
Hey, I'm old, okay? I'm 37.
It
I
was a long time
22
ago.
or
Easy on the old,
50.
buddy.
Jeez.
Easy. Okay, so you mentioned the Colts. You want them to go and get Stroud. You hope he falls to them. Maybe it's you leaking all these rumors because that's your whole plan, Darius.
Maybe.
You and your Crocs.
Gladly. Me and my Crocs would definitely leak everything. But I would love for him to be there at 4. But if he's not,
Go on.
I'd be okay with Anthony Richardson. But let me think a little outside the box here. I would
boy.
also be okay, number 1, with trading 4, and let's get Lamar Jackson in the building and work something out there. That'll be option 1. Option 2 will be trading out of 4 and maybe picking Hendon Hooker
Whoa.
a little bit later in that round. And he won't be the day 1 starter because of his injury, but I think he has a very high potential to be even the best quarterback in this draft based on what I saw his last year in Tennessee before he got injured. So I would rank him Stroud, Young, Hooker, and then Richardson, Levis. So, if you want a guy come in right now with Steichen in this system,
Yeah, who's
go
Steichen's
Richardson. Probably Richardson with his tools, him being there. But once again, I love Hooker, everything he did from accuracy, from pre-snap. I saw him doing something he was doing with the Mannings. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but just seeing behind the curtain a little bit, leadership, how he handles his teams, his coaches. Just an awesome, awesome quarterback. And he's older. He's a little more mature. I think 25 already going into the draft, and he'll be rehabbing that knee. But I love Hooker in this draft.
You love Hooker in this draft. Let's talk a little defense here because the quarterbacks get all the love. We'll see how it shakes out. Half of them don't, a couple of them do. But it is one of the best DB draft classes in a while. I mean, you're wearing the DB. It's not just for Darius Butler. It's for the position, right? So, listen, it's been a while since you and me took a trip to Shutdown City, but I would like to know some defensive backs who could maybe one day be the mayor.
Let's go back to Shutdown City. First of all, Christian Gonzalez out of Oregon, just an unbelievable athlete, 6'1", almost 200 pounds, went to the combine and showed off that 4.3 speed. But his ball skills, his physicality when he wants to be, I think he'll be a top 10 pick and the best cornerback in the NFL because of his traits coming from this draft. So I'm excited to see him on the next level.
Who else?
You know what? Devin Witherspoon. Some similarities here between me and him. Our size, frame, 5'10", $180-ish, but he plays like lightning in a bottle. When he shows up, he is going to hit you in the mouth. Reminds me a little bit of Vontae Davis. Can be physical at the line of scrimmage, sticky, can play outside. I think we'll play some inside as well in the next level. Coverage skills, explosive. Love his tenacity and competitiveness. Devin Witherspoon, love him out of Illinois. My last one, Deonte Banks out of Maryland. Freak show of an athlete.
Oh my gosh.
Humbly speaking, much like myself. But 42-inch vert, 4.35 speed.
Is that sped up?
Got great tape coming out of Maryland. Tay Banks would like to see him be a little more comfortable with his back to the ball, and obviously help improve his ball skills because I think turning over the ball is that's a big premium when you're playing that cornerback position. But love Deonte Banks out of Maryland as well. And let me give you a couple honorable mentions too, okay? Joey Porter Jr., obviously the bloodlines, we know his pops. Is a great linebacker in this league for a long time, but I like him out of Penn State. Emmanuel Forbes, over 6 foot, only $160, slender guy, but great ball skills. And Cam Smith, corner out of South Carolina, rangy, can play outside and inside as well. So those are 3 guys that could potentially get their name called in that first round as well.
Okay, so you gave us some sleeper. You did your homework and gave us extra, and that's why we love Darius Butler on the show this draft week. We're all excited to see how it shakes down. I love that the guy that runs a 4.35 40 reminds you of yourself. That makes me happy. But listen, we got to get to some of this because I saw you were out on the practice field. As usual, I don't know why you pick on these kids. Like, we got to talk about
this. Oh,
God,
what are you talking about here? I don't even know what we're...
Well, you're picking on high schoolers.
God.
Listen, you're on ESPN's NFL Matchup. You like to grind tape, but break down your tape here.
Physical at the line of scrimmage. I forced the release. I forced the inside release, right? And once I forced that inside release, now it limits that receiver on the routes that he can run. So I know immediately, as soon as he straightened up, that he wanted to get back outside. Now, terrible on the ball skills. The
You
ball
gotta
skills
get that
need to be worked
ball.
on by the old man. You got to bring this in and turn that over. Got lazy. Got to attack it at the highest point as
Now
well.
what's this?
We got push-ups. So we got push-ups after the last rep of one-on-ones, or last couple reps, I believe, between the wide receivers and the DBs. The DBs lost, so we had to do our 25 push-ups. But those are my guys.
You and I trained for this. You and I trained for you dropping an interception and this moment to sort of go down for you to do that. But it's not just this. You love the NBA. You're just the most active human possible. And I know you're excited about the playoffs, but here you are, hooping.
Hey, now, you know, football, get that out of here. Hooping, hey, this is where we at now. I'm in my prime. I'm in mid-season form right here. This is in Deerfield Beach, Florida. That was Plant High School. Shout out to Hard But Fair Athletes. Those are my guys on the football field.
Okay.
But yeah, these are grown men out here. So, no kids out here, Kay. Let me give you a little backstory to what happened this day. This is my first time hooping with these guys, right? So I show up on time. This is an invite only. I don't get picked the first game. I don't get. You're not me. I don't get. I got next. I got down. That's what's up. It's a bet. So I shot every time I touched the ball. And that's
deep threes.
That's a regular. That's a regular hoop session for me, Kay. That's what I do. Come on,
I love seeing. It's like a local gym. It just makes my heart warm. It's amazing. Give me a little. I don't watch what.
Do you know what these are?
No. What are those?
Back to back.
Tell me what they are.
Those are my men's league championship rings. Okay, it's hard on you. Can't go and just buy these. You can't go and just buy these, Kay. But yeah, I stay active out here. You don't use it, you lose it, Kay. All right.
Next thing you'll tell me is that you can throw this pigskin over a mountain, like your uncle Ricoing in a big way right now, my friend. We know, and we love you. Give me a little.
The older I get, the better I was. That's how it works.
That's amazing. Love starting my Monday with you. Give me a little NBA. I know you're in. I'm into it. I know the Clippers are down 3-1. Give me who are we liking? Is Giannis going to play? We don't know. I thought the Bucks were going to take it all. What do you think?
You know, injuries hate injuries. No Kawhi, no Paul George, no Greek Freak right now. But for the guys that are out there, you know, you love LeBron always. LeBron, Dylan Brooks kind of stirring that pot, poking the bear. I think the Lakers going and win that series. But I got my money on the Warriors, running it back. I think they were plus like 850 when the playoffs started. I love everything about Steph Curry in that dynasty. And if Steph Curry makes a run and gets this ring, this 5th ring, just be ready for some wild Steph Curry takes from me, because he'll be put up in that top 3, and he ain't 3. So I'm looking forward to the Warriors and how they run, if they can run this table in these playoffs.
Do you have your blue check mark?
Yeah, I bought it, baby. I wouldn't pay for it. I'm not going to lie and tell people, I checked and Elon paid for me, and I don't know how I got it. But no, so I got it. I went paid. Look, I've wasted $115 on worse things. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you, but there are some valuable uses from this blue check mark. Yeah. So call me a mark. Call me what you want to call me, but I wouldn't pay Elon $8 a month for my blue check. But I'm gonna make it worth it.
Mic drop, suckers. All right, we appreciate you, Darius Butler, so much. Good luck with draft week. We'll, of course, hopefully get to see you and hang out sometime soon. God, that made me laugh. I'm almost crying from that footage. So
Thank you. Have a good one.
So good. We'll be back after this. We're going to shed some light. One of the best defensive tackles in the NFL draft. Here's a hint. He's out of the University of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh defensive tackle Calijah Kancey. One thing about him is he's proof that Aaron Donald's success has taught us nothing! Now, I don't want to put Aaron Donald's levels of expectation on Calijah. Aaron is one of the top 5 defensive players to ever play this game. A lot of people say he's the best to ever play the game. And that's not fair or cool to do to a young prospect, but there are some parallels that are kind of impossible to ignore. Look at this. They're almost the exact same size. Like, literally the exact same size and the exact same speed, the exact same explosiveness as measured. Both unanimous All-American. That's interesting. All right, what else? Oh, both won ACC Defensive Player of the Year at Pitt as well. And again, I'm not saying, it's underline and bold, this is circle, I'm not saying it's going to be Aaron Donald, but why, after Donald was stupidly knocked for being undersized for a D tackle, remember that, and it caused him to fall all the way down to 14th back in 2014. Do you remember that? Are people doing the same thing to Kancey? Why are people doing that? Like, learn from your mistakes in history. Despite the production, the accolades, the breaking Donald's defensive tackle record with a 4.67 40, he is still somehow projected to be just a late first-round pick. That makes no sense. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've heard. If he sticks around that long, you idiots drafting that might not take him, he's going to be a steal for someone like the Lions at 18. You know, their GM, Brad Holmes, he was college scouting director for the Rams when they drafted Aaron Donald. That makes sense. Or how about the team, do I have my helmet? The Chargers, they're right back there. The Chargers pick at 21. They have had a bottom 5 run defense each last season. So wherever he goes, I hope Calijah makes everyone feel stupid, just like Aaron Donald did for falling because of his undersized stuff. And I hope that it doesn't take another 10 years for teams to learn their lesson. Calijah, we see you, and good luck at the draft. We'll be back. We are 3 days away from the NFL draft, where we'll be live on Thursday and Friday in Kansas City. Eating Kate's Barbecue apparently said GaTa, but we're also on the road next week because we're going to Churchill Downs for the Kentucky Derby. Very exciting around here because FanDuel is all over it. FanDuel is the first and only sportsbook app where you can bet the Derby. So I guess it sounds like I should start caring and start really investing into some of what these horses are and what that vibe is going to be. We're going to get all of the information from Ken Rudulph, who's you're the I don't even know. Like, you know everything. You're cerebro.
I do everything. This is true.
Yes.
But I actually have been very lucky in the Kentucky Derby to pick some long shot winners, starting with a horse named Giacomo back in 2005 at 50-1.
But you were like 10 years old then. How did you do that?
Yes, I was. I know. I was
Ken, you
born
were
to
just
do
telling
this.
me that you went to Lollapalooza back when Lollapalooza traveled, and I said, but you're 20 years old. So how do I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty sure this gives away that I'm a grown-ass man.
No.
This shows you right now.
Ken looks great. So here's the deal. I want to get some of these horses.
What do you got? Okay.
Listen, I grew up in Chicago. I think this is my horse, Forte. Matt Forte.
Go for it.
Tell me
He's
about
a
this
great
guy.
horse. He's probably going to be your post-time favorite. He's what's called the 2-year-old Breeders' Cup champion, right? So he had the best year as a 2-year-old, and he's gotten even better as a 3-year-old. He's had huge challenges, and all he does is win. He's incredible.
What do you mean? This horse is only 2 years old?
He was 2 years old. Now he's 3. You have to be 3 to run the Derby.
They're that young?
Yeah, they start when they're
If you
year
were to
training.
I would have told you that this is a 12-year-old horse.
Well, he's running like that. He's very mature.
Yeah.
Very mature.
Can we talk about stud farms next year?
Absolutely.
Okay, I love that.
It's a big business.
Who's the next one? Is there another one?
You don't have time, but this is
No,
my
we do.
pick. This is confidence game because life is about confidence game. This is confidence game. I think this horse is going to be a nice price, extremely versatile, and I'm all about getting prices. He'll be 25-1. That means you'll get $50 plus on your $2 win wager. That's what plus ridiculous amounts, 5,000 or something like that on the sports book. It's crazy.
We have another horse on here we're not going to get to, which means you have to tune in next time we have Ken on, and of course watch him all over FanDuel TV. The Derby is here!
Get ready for bourbon.